Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello. Okay, just let's go deeper. Let's go beyond technical analysis. First of all, there's no major news that is going to make the market shake today. So, what I'm more interested in seeing is see how the price action prints. Okay, but before we treat our forecast for today, let's look at the post analysis. Do some post analysis. For the post analysis, what I'm looking at is looking at what British pound Japanese yen did yesterday. It gave a clear minor bias territory in this seller's territory, in this overall bias territory, in 4 hour seller's territory, holding inside the general bias territory. It's crazy. So what I'm trying to say is that GJ is in a watertight zone. Okay, this is what I do to just help me stay out of being overzealous. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, what this means is that we are in this kind of confined space. Price will come here, boom, go up. Come here, kaboom, come down. Reach here, boom, go up. Until it breaks above or breaks below, this pendulum will still be hitting up and down. So not to be a naysayer, but this is we're approaching the end of the month, and most institutional traders, bankers, hedge funds, whatever you have, are trying to like cover their positions, whether they are shorts or they are longs, even banks. So let me just put them under the umbrella of the big boys, trying to cover their short or long positions. So we'll be seeing some fizzling out, weakness in the prices. Okay, so unless there is some heavy news, but based on the fundamentals, there is no major news at the moment that can push price. Okay, so but let's see what this month end is going to give us. This is the last week of this month. So for British pound Japanese yen, this buys played out clean. The reason I didn't take it was what I just explained in the Pips Phoenix unique trading page, where I was like I shared some important information there. I'm just going to rehash, but you have to go to Phoenix Unique to get a different dimension of the explanation. It's quite almost the same, but I will never give the same type of meal word for word twice. So what I'm trying to say is that watch this. This should be your case study now. We are in seller's territory, this, although in this buyer's territory. So in other words, the sales will play if it fails to continue down to make this retest this low, which is what we call the trend continuation failure. You may have heard me say that before, TCF. If it fails to continue down, then we do the counter trend continuation, TTC. It is counter trend because we are in these minor sellers, but it is in overall in confluence with the trend, which is this bias. So you see how it plays out. So it's in confluence with this bias, but counter these sellers. So in this zone, anywhere below this particular lower level of the supply is good to be looking for counter trend buys. Okay. When Meti approaches this zone, you just have to be very careful because some orders were not filled, especially those who like trading using the Fibonacci, okay, extension, or using generally Fibonacci, which is this retracement. to say, okay, 50%, 61.8%, 72 point this percent, all those kind of stuff would have placed their sell limit somewhere around here. So that means the order will got to be filled. They would, even if it does not push the price down, because those of us who trade observing price action would know that this wants to go up, it will at least shake the market a little bit. So what happened was it reached this neck area where support is supposed to be resistance, and this doesn't occur all the time. So do not say, okay, let me take buys because I saw it play out on the 27th of June 2022. It does not play out then. It might signal you in, then do what? Kaboom, calm down. This is a potential thing that could occur. But yesterday was just quite unique. That's why it's called Freaky Monday. Okay, yesterday was quite unique. Another time this could occur is on Friday, Freaky Friday. These 2 days are quite unique, so you got to just understand how to flow with the momentum. So this is what I saw on GJ. So once, but inside of this neck, there is what? Sweet buys. If you're anywhere inside of this neck, we'll be anticipating to mirror this clean traffic to the left. Okay, so this is just what I saw, but I did not take the GJ buys because it was in a it was held between a rock and a WC. This is buys in the current cells, in the overall cells. So which one goes? But what I saw that gave me confidence was this buys. Observe this clearly. See this cells here was showing clear weakness. So since that cell was showing clear weakness, I said, okay, potential buys will be, let me just give it here. If not, I should have taken it from here with stop loss here. It would have still played beautifully. Okay, but I said, let me keep it here. When you're going against the trend, it's better to be very careful. So this is it. And GJ just played beautifully. If what I'm saying seems advanced, please watch it again and ask questions. I'm here for you. As you can see what is going on now, we are just exactly what happened yesterday. We are in buys. Now we are stuck in these cells. Exactly what played out yesterday. It's just repeating itself. This is one of the beautiful messes of GJ. It tends to just, it's tired of printing new questions. It just gives you past questions and say, oh yeah, eat if you know what to do. So this is the buys we are hanging in right now. This is the cells which is in command right now. And as you can see, it is in this neck, just like the diagram I drew last time. It's in this, it has crossed inside of this supply zone. So what we're looking at is the potential of mirroring this. And as you can see, it's showing weakness. Sellers are showing weakness. So let's see if this is going to break down. If it breaks and closes below this support, yes, potential sales will continue to retest this low. But if it closes bullish, then it will mirror this clean traffic. This is now like a forecast I've just given. So it's just very simple, very simple. But it's not like you just know it overnight. It comes with observing, painstakingly observing, reminding yourself, memorizing, not patterns, but price action. That is just two different things. I'm not gonna say, okay, memorize this. See this picture, memorize it. When price starts doing like this, then you look for buy. No, it could do like this and drop because of volume, and it could do like this and rally, same because of volume. Market can only go one of two directions, down or up. The one thing every trader anticipates is to be in the direction the market wants to go. Okay, it can even come down, then eventually go up. then you've taken your profit before it changes direction. So you are never truly wrong until you eventually close your trade either in a loss or a profit. That is just what most people will tell you, and that is a fact actually. I'm not going to debunk that. You are not actually wrong until your trade is closed. Okay? But you don't be in a deep drawdown before you say, okay, I'm wrong. Okay, let's look at for GJ. What I'm looking at is just let me just observe what the market was gone into today. I've just given you a little forecast where you see prices hanging in the above the support in this supply zone. So there's potential that it could mirror this clean traffic to the left. But I don't like taking trades like this for reasons um, personal to me. I prefer to take it above here. But then taking buys above here is taking it into this zone. Okay, taking it into this zone. Yeah, it could play out. I understand it could play out, but let me just observe. The month is ending. Volume perhaps is dying. So what I would prefer is to see a deep retracement, but above this, excuse me, above this, what I would prefer to see is a deep retracement like this. This is our demand order block. So a deep retracement, something like this. Then I'll be anticipating buys on the break of the structure to go up. Now, this is an ideal image. It could also look something like this, where it gives a deep retracement. It can give equal V, set 1, test 2, or it give a lopsided V, test 1, test 2, before going up, whichever one. But based on the current price action, we're anticipating what? Just like I told you, you see, it respected and doing what? So let's see if it's going to break this top wick. If it does that, Chabela to mirror this traffic to the left to retest this high. But I'm not going to take these buys. It's very risky. And though it's going to play out, but I like to give buys or trades that I know that even if you repeat it over and over, it will keep giving you the high probability. Then for gold, gold played out beautifully. I took the buys here just like we anticipated because we were in the neck zone, okay, the neck region of the gold. So if you look at it, whenever price entered here, it gets marks down. It showed weakness to go up, smack down again. Weakness to go up, smack down. Weakness to go up, smack down. This one now came with strong impulse. We are just gauging momentum now. Weak retracement or weak smack. What happened? Strong impulse. Then now it became clear to me that the buyers are back inside of this seller's territory. That the buyers are back. So all I needed to do was wait for volume to come and take my buys. That was why I prefer to take the gold buys instead of the GJ, pound yen, British pound, Japanese yen buys. The gold buys was a promising market structure, but for the GJ, the buys was the probability was not as high as for gold. So I just like, okay, let me stay back. Yeah, don't worry, you ask your questions. You ask your questions. Yeah, let me just pour out my heart so that I don't forget what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that is it to take the buys going up. No, 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 no. I get your question. Yeah, no. Mm. Yes, we are in seller's territory, which is why, okay, look at this. Gauge the momentum of these buys. Gauge the momentum of these sales. Which one do you think occurred faster? The sales, of course. Look at how it dropped. As if this one is like a feather that is blown by breeze. This one is like a stone, a heavy, very heavy rock. that is dropped from, let's say, a plane. It just drops hard. You understand? Why this one was just gliding, 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 going up, appreciating, rallying, but it wasn't the kind of impulsive rally. It was just a weak, sluggish movement. So if you look at this very well, taking the buys here, as you can see, the buys did not play out very quick because, again, we are going against the overall trend. I just learned this not barely 2 or some years back, taking this counter trend buys. Normally, I like waiting for the sales. If it were me about 4 or 5 years ago, I would have said, don't touch the buys, let it play out. Yes, it will play out, but wait for the sales. Just like I said about the DJ now that the buys is playing out. It's not that I don't take that kind of trade, but I just don't like taking it until I've observed it over time. Then I'm becoming very staunch on it. Yeah, at it. Then I could say, okay, let's get it down. So I took this buys, counter trend buys. It wasn't a quick like buy like the GJ. It didn't play out quick. It came up, dropped down. In fact, let me zoom in. Let me go to the. I think the 5 minutes should do better justice to this. It was a sluggish movement yesterday. I was like, come on, go, just give it to me. You were going to give it to me eventually. So why wasting my time? You needed to see me interacting with the chat. So like talking to your one-time old buddy. So look at it. I was activated here. It dropped almost to my stop loss. I was like, phew, man, this is a close call. It came up. This is gold for you. It's crazy. It's a radical. Seriously, gold is a radical. If this was organic chemistry or general chemistry, gold is an unstable element. It came down again, very, very close to my stop loss. Like very, if spread used to affect sales, it would have taken me out for sure. Spread doesn't really affect sales. It's the buys that it affects it. If spread used to affect sales, for sure it would have taken me out. And I was like, because I opened two positions here with my 1:3 leverage. I opened two positions. The two positions are equal to 1% of my capital. That's the point. I could not just open the 1% full because I've noticed that sometimes the order will not be filled. So I divide it into smaller positions so that at least if two or three are open, if the third one that did not open, at least I'm still in the trade because I know what I've done. My post analysis, my forecast should be in line with the potential profit margin or sort of. So it came very close and it broke this high. If this was GJ for breaking this market structure, we would have just said Chabela, but no, it came down over like, oh my goodness, what is wrong with this lady? What is wrong with this guy? Come on, rally at once. And kaboom. It even reached close to my TP. I was doing what we call shakara, or just playing gently and not doing anything. This activated my first take profit. Then this was where I took my second take profit. Not here. I just fixed this later when I was doing the forecast for Phoenix Unique. I was looking at this institutional level 1840, 1841. Okay, this institutional level. But to be conservative, I put it here just in case of spread because this was volume that pushed price up. And you know, when volume comes, it depends on the amount of traders trading. It could increase the spread or reduce the spread. After that, my sales played out again. How did it play out? I had already been taken out of the buys. Okay, I've already been taken out of the buys in my profit, not stop loss, by the way. Then this small wick was what activated my sales. Then came up, I like, trusting the process. It's not like I was shivering or anything. Nah, we don't pass that stage. I was just cool, collected, calm, okay? But I like that high that comes with just looking at the price going against you. I'm like, no for my hand, though. This is what we do. It came up and slam dunk. See, let me tell you something. Most of you say, wow, you don't chop well now. This is a big sales. Nah, listen. This sales you see here is the same amount this buys gave me. This buys you see that is small here. It's the same amount because this sales is 1%, this buys is 1%. So it's not by the largeness of the profit, okay? If just this small position gives me TP, it's the same thing as this position. It's the same thing because they'll be using an equivalent amount of stop loss as well. So that is for gold. But for the meantime, right now, what am I looking at for gold? Gold. It just, you know what? Gold sales looks promising to go down. On the other hand, let's see if gold will give me counter trend buys to take up. So scenario one will be gold sales to come down in direction of the trend, but don't forget to hit our TP. Gold buys scenario two, which is counter trend, just like what transpired here yesterday. So I like this kind of deep retracement because when it's dropping, you know it's dropping within the current, not like it's making new lows, it is within it. So it gets a very high momentum smackdown. So more sales below this support, which is in continuation direction of the overall trend, or buys counter trend in order to give us deeper retracement. So whichever one comes first. But just don't forget we are approaching the end of the month. If you've been following all my call outs, my trades I've been calling out, you should be in green and comfortable green. So don't try to be too ambitious and lose your profit. Okay. What else am I looking at? That is all for gold, I think. Let's see. The counter trend is still priming. It is not ready yet. It has not given me a clear bullish guy. When it gives me that clear bullish guy, drop for retracement, then I will think of taking the buys. Then the sells would be below here to go down. Okay. So this is how gold looks like. Okay. Then the last but not the least is no, Bitcoin. Bitcoin was playing the pendulum game. If you remember, it was here as at the forecast for yesterday. You have to watch that to understand. This was the ping, the guy who started this range. This was the resistance, this was the support, ping pong. Then here it's supposed to drop, but what happened? Fake out. Took out all, I mean, it will take out all the sales except whoever took sale here will put their stop loss far out. And I know traders don't do that. They'll keep their stop loss somewhere around here, above this high. And what happened? It just took them out. Then some who are very like, okay, don't break, it's broken out of the range. Let's take buys. What happened? It smacked them down again. It came to this low. But yesterday, I think we were around this low, somewhere around there. But there was this impression that this was going to hit this resistance here, actually. It was going to get to this resistance, and it did. So what we were looking out for is if when it gets to this resistance, it will break out because we were sitting on the demand, or it will come down weak, then go up again. But if you were, I was not just focused on Bitcoin, I was looking at gold primarily yesterday. If you looked at this very well, see how price rejected here? See the weakness here, which would have signaled traders who took sales, who like taking sales in range at the top of the range to see that there was weakness. But you see this one, it came up, failed to even close. You see, all these other ones were closing right at the top of the resistance, but this one gave a wick and rejected. So it's just very simple that you wait for the next candle to give you top wick. On the break of the low, there's potential to go down. This is a different trading strategy. Okay, a different trading strategy. But I will advise you to observe it play out before you use it. Okay, it failed to, it gave you weak, failed to even get close to resistance, closed bearish, and as you can see, it was in this sort of seller's territory. So all you needed was a break of this low, or if you were fidgeting or scared, you can put your sell stop here. But that means this is where your confirmed TP should be. All this that transpired, all this mass, very large drop was just volume. It wasn't, it's not generally going to be anticipated. And it's not wise to take sell in a range close to the support. Okay, so this will just happen. So for Bitcoin, I'm generally looking for sales because it has shown its hand. So if it goes above here, we'll be looking for buys. But below anywhere, if it gives us deep retracement, no problem. We'll be looking for sales to come down to retest this low. So this will be scenario 1, A, some retracement. If it just drops down, this will be scenario 1, B, continuation. Then this will be scenario 2 to go up. So it's as simple as this. Okay, I'm going to stop here for now. If you have any question, feel free to ask. I'm going to take this moment to try upload the recording while I attend to your questions. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay, and after that, you hit that notification button so that you'll be notified once there is something new. Then you comment. You say if the volume is high now, you let me know. If it's still low, you let me know. If you something anything you want me to treat, you also let me know. If it's appearing very high, you let me know. Okay, this is quite for my not really, I won't say all my trainees here, all are not advanced students. Okay, but there is a teamwork here. The one you don't understand, you ask questions. But for you who is not opportune to be here, you can ask your question and definitely to be attended to as soon as possible. Okay, that's all I got for you right now. Bye for now. Peace.